Welcome to Robot House. We're doing a Pokemon episode, everyone. We did do one for the new guys from last week. That was E3. Everyone was busy. But we were rewarded for our laziness with some of the best Pokemon and one water Pokemon.
You were all expecting the update to come tomorrow when it was announced, did you?
Wow, this leaked a day ahead of time. So, somebody at Pokemon Company's not happy.
You guys realize that, Japan's like a whole day ahead of us.
Yeah, but Matt, this literally leaked.
Yeah.
So they compensated for that day ahead of us. And somebody got clips of all the Pokemon that weren't even in this trailer, oddly enough. They just released the whole trailer.
You know what they say, nobody expects the Spanish Inquisition.
Well, that's true. They've been defunct for over 400 years.
Nobody expects the internet to reveal something early.
Except Pokemon Company should, because it happens. Yeah, it happens constantly. So let's get on to the new Pokemon. Okay, so first up, they showed Charjabug, who is not a train, as people...
That's a great freaking name, though. I like that.
Yeah, it's a taser.
It is.
I love it. A string shot. You know why? Because it's a taser and it shoots out its little things. No, but people thought it was a battery, and people thought it was a train for some reason. I got news for you. Japanese trains don't look like that.
I thought it was a square watermelon.
If you take its feet off, it looks like a taser with grips. So, it's actually kind of cool. And it makes more sense because it evolves, and we see it evolve in the trailer, into Vikavolt, who is amazing and has a railgun for pincers.
A certain scientific railgun?
No. This one makes sense as enjoyable to look at. That's right, I went there. No, but Vikavolt. This is an odd 3-stage Pokemon because it has 2 larval forms, because obviously beetles don't have cocoons. The implication is that it evolves super late, too. So, his stat should be fairly high for a bug.
It must be like a big old charge up kind of thing. Mm-hmm. You gotta sit with your taser for 10 levels?
Well, if we assume Grubbin evolves at 15, it could follow the starter path and evolve around 30.
That's very strange for a bug type, you're right. The only other one that has, late evolution like that is Larvesta. So,
and that was more because they're stupid than because of Larvesta needing a late evolution.
But is it worth it? Yes.
Yeah, as cool as he is, he's staying on my team for a while, even if I don't really use him that much.
Yeah, it looks awesome.
And he learned Zap Cannon right off the bat.
I noticed that. I'm like, well, that's nice.
No word on his ability yet.
What's the accuracy of Zap Cannon again?
50%.
That's not important, it's just that he learns it, okay? I'm sure he has his own...
Maybe he has no guard. Hey, who knows?
Maybe the ability increases Zap Cannon's accuracy by 5.
Yeah, given that he's a railgun, we know he's going to learn most of the beam moves.
Charge beam, signal beam.
Yeah. His hidden ability is probably Skill Link.
This is all conjecture, ladies and gentlemen.
Yes, but it's fun to guess because they always have fun with Pokemon that are also real-world weapons. Artillery comes to mind.
Yeah.
Okay, so moving on. Next up is Drampa.
Uncle Drampa?
No, thank you. Normal dragon. I assume there's 2 possibilities for this guy. He's either going to evolve into a ghost dragon, which seems likely given his name.
That's super evil, but so dang obvious.
Yeah. Or the nicer option is he gets younger as he evolves.
Is it the never... Sorry.
He does look like... Yeah, I was going to say he looks like Falcor.
Yeah. You're kind of heavy.
Yeah, his second stage is
just talking about that at the store.
It's a Falcor kind of day. He does look a lot like Falcor. It's probably intentional. He's not furry, though.
You can't soar on me, kid. You're too heavy.
You're going down.
I'm just going to say, Falcor weighs like 3 tons, easy. I don't think weight is an issue.
It is when Peter Griffin's on your back.
Apparently.
This dragon looks like a yokai, though, to me. It looks a little off.
Well, he's a plesiosaur, so I can see where he looks like a mass of like noodly limbs.
The normal typing confuses me.
The normal typing, I think, is because he's going to be a different type when he evolves. But
you don't think it's going to be a Druddigan?
No, they know those aren't popular with people.
Dragons that don't evolve are not popular with people?
Also, he's an early game dragon. He has to be. I assume most of these Pokemon share an island, or at least an area.
I don't know. I mean, dragons generally don't show up early in a game.
Alpha, Omega, Ruby, and Alpha Sapphire.
Yeah. He could be mid-game. Like if we go by the level of Vikavolt when it possibly evolves, he could be a level 20 Pokemon, which seems about right. There's an ice area fairly early in the game, so dragons could come right after that.
Yeah, it's very strange. Maybe they're just going to do things that are weird.
I just bought this ice cream Pokemon. I'm going to capture this majestic dragon with it.
Sneak peek for my worst Pokemon ever, by the way.
You're just jealous because you're not edible.
No, I'm quite happy about that. Okay, so let's go to Dramplaw's ability real fast. He has the ability of Frenzy. All we know is it raises special attack when damaged. We don't know if that's critical damage or what, but...
From the video, it definitely freaking hit it hard.
Well, they purposely used a dragon. So.
Yes.
Could you imagine if that ability triggered when it hit itself in confusion and stuff?
Oh my god.
You could do, Outrage.
Well, that would be great. Yeah, because it's a physical and it wouldn't do anything. Well, you wouldn't want to use Outrage. That would be super effective. But if you're confused and you have, like, a crappy normal move and reserve, yeah, I could see that being hilarious.
This thing has nasty breath, confirmed.
Well, when you get to be that age. Maybe it eats our next Pokemon and doesn't brush its teeth. So next up is Bruxfish. It's the fish Pokemon for this generation. Probably more than one is going to be showing up. This has a few things going for it, though. It's Water Psychic, which...
Just like Slowpoke.
Yes, which isn't terrible typing, all things considered. And then it has a cool ability called Dazzle, which negates priority move. That means things like Sucker Punch was the move. That's not
Sucker Punch doesn't cause you to flinch.
I know, but
it just goes before if your opponent tries to attack you.
I know.
That's why you're not allowed to use Mega Kangaskhan.
Yeah, well, it negates Sucker Punch,
Quick Attack,
Extreme Speed, Aqua Jet, all those.
Bullet Punch,
yeah, Bullet Punch.
Ice Bullet,
Ice Shard? No.
Ice Shard.
It's Ice Shard, yeah, not Ice Bullet.
Yeah, I knew it was Ice something. I just know it was another quick move. You said Extreme Speed already.
Yeah,
yep.
I assume maybe it'll even do moves like Detect.
Yeah, Detect,
Protect, things like that.
Faint, Snatch.
Yeah. Maybe not Snatch.
Faint.
Still, that's Now, of course, it could be a little less specific than that, but we'll see. That's still very good, and I hope it's on... Dazzle implies that it can be on quite a few Pokemon.
Yeah.
Including Pokemon we've already seen.
Indeed.
Like, Lopunny.
Well, I was going to say more like Steel Pokemon that maybe resemble mirrors.
Yeah.
Ice Pokemon, things like that.
Carbink.
Yeah. Oh, definitely Carbink. People might actually use it then. So, well, I'm not excited for another fish. This one isn't too bad.
And to think, this fish is designed from nature.
Yes. It's not fake, everyone. I recognized the fish almost immediately. I didn't know the name, but I knew it was based on a real fish. I don't know why anyone would think it was fake.
Well, they're in the Alola regions. You gotta have something that looks like the triggerfish, too.
Mm-hmm.
Which in Hawaiian is the longest word in the English language.
Yeah.
Yeah. The Humanuma Nuka Nuka Apua.
Pat, you're just going to speak gibberish.
That's an actual word, dude.
I'm aware.
It's nothing
This
gibberish.
is Trump's America, buddy. English or nothing.
English words like big league.
Letter H doesn't exist anymore.
Makalaka hey, makalaka hi, maka god, I hate you so much.
Oh my god.
Well, let's move on.
Yep.
Next up is Keyfly. It is bug fairy, despite looking like a hummingbird. It is a mosquito, apparently.
Mosquito, yes.
It might evolve, it might not.
It's about the size of an actual mosquito, too.
It's based on something called a bee fly, which is a pollinator. So it could be really anything at this point. Kind of hoping it doesn't evolve into a mosquito. We'll see.
It's evolve into the mosquito from Rayman.
Oh god.
Let's not.
So it's gonna
from Toriko.
It's gonna learn bite, leech life.
Well, no, it's not a what's it called?
What, bloodsucker?
It's not a bloodsucker. It's a pollinator. So it'll have like sap sipper or something, but it won't learn any of those moves. Oddly enough. Moving on.
Yeah, it's another bug.
No.
Well, what it was, that thing was just another bug. Next.
Yeah. So next up is Togedemaru. I know this name is a joke. For the life of me, I can't. Like, obviously, it's a reference to Togepi because of its pattern. It's driving me nuts.
Is this the Steel Electric one?
Uh-huh.
That is correct.
The one that Pikachu tail glow it's on the back of its head like a ponytail.
Ah.
It's pretty neat. He has the ability Lightning Rod, fitting for an electric steel.
Yeah.
You probably have Magnet Pole as the second ability.
So it's our not Pikachu for this.
Oh,
yeah.
his name literally translates into what he is. Browned with thorns.
Oh,
That is awesome.
It was driving me crazy because I knew Toga meant something. It just
Toga means thorn, so yeah, that's kind of hilarious.
I tried looking on Google Translate, and every time I typed in Toga, it said in English Toga. I'm like, no.
You forgot the E, man.
No, I typed in Toga, and it went Toge, and I'm like, that's not an English word. I guess they need you to type in the kanji.
Yes.
I'm like, well, I don't have that on hand, Google.
Toga.
He's not actually that bad. It's nice to see a little, because Dadende was,
Dadende was the little cute
from XY, yeah, and he was Electric Fairy, and wasn't really that good. I like this one's design a little more. He's obviously going to be sturdier.
Mm-hmm. He's steel type.
Mm-hmm.
And it'll probably be faster than the other electric steel type we have.
That's, well, Magnezon's not meant to be fast. He's a UFO.
That's the problem. It gets crushed every time.
Mm-hmm. That won't be a problem, Patrick, because electric types now have a god to worship.
They do.
Tapu Koko, whose name literally means electric rooster, or something to that effect, which is amazing for so many reasons, but problematic because there's now a literal cock for people to make cockfighting references with. He's Electric Fairy, and he has the ability Elect Maker, which forces electric train on the battlefield.
Huh. That's why it looked that way. That's interesting.
Yep.
Which just probably means that the other Guardians do the same thing, and they're grass and pure fairy for our grassy terrain and misty terrain. Mm-hmm. If there's 4 Guardians, then we might also get another type out of this. But I'm not going to speculate on that. We know for sure, though, that they really wanted to push these terrains, and they were cool in XY, but I don't remember ever using them. Because very few Pokemon learned them. And the bonuses they conferred were good, but very situational.
True. They didn't really do anything to the opponent's Pokemon, just helped yours out.
Mm-hmm. But now, you can open with this guy, you can switch him in if you see a rest Pokemon coming in.
Yeah, he'll probably just use something like Volt Switch.
Yeah, he probably learns it. Mm-hmm. This is really good for a team that shares Volt Switch as a means of getting your guys out. You can refresh the electric terrain every couple of turns, and since he's unfortunately weak to ground,
yes,
this is probably the best way to get him out of the way.
Yep. That'd be really good to switch it to a levitating and electric type like Eelektross.
Yeah. Now, I looked up the other 2 terrains. Misty terrain adds a leftover effect to any Pokemon on the ground and buffs up grass moves by 50%. And Misty terrain activates Safeguard, and Dragon-type moves do 50% less damage.
You would think that the 4th terrain would probably be Icy.
I thought of that, but that already has a weather.
Yeah, I guess so.
I was thinking Fiery terrain.
That'd just be dangerous, though. Because if there's a fiery terrain, not every Pokemon will be able to stand in the fire.
True.
So that would definitely do damage.
Well, I assume it would just inflict a semi-permanent burn on everyone. It could be anything. It could be poison terrain.
That would be the same issue. None of these other terrains do damage to other Pokemon.
No, but one heals both sides, so it would make sense to have one that damages, and we'd get a poison fairy out of the deal.
That's just crazy.
Well, we'll see. This is the Guardian of the first island.
Yeah.
And he doesn't seem to come around until level 60, so we'll see if we... I think a story point is getting these guys all together. Probably to stop the 3rd legendary from going up.
Speaking of 3rd legendaries...
No, we're not on him yet. There's a lot to talk about with Tapu Koko. When he comes out, when they summon him, there are 3 Spearow in the sky. And he literally kills them as he's coming down. And the guy says, "Let the sacrifice of Pokemon appease our guardian." I'm like, those poor Spearow.
Why does poor Spearow? Why can't they just sacrifice Ash when he gets there?
Maybe when he shows up in the anime, they'll flash back to the first episode. Like, well, Pikachu can do that. Maybe he's a guardian too. Oh, Lord. And then,
he is the chosen one, the one that awoken the elemental birds. Mm-hmm. Quick, offer his blood to Tapu Koko.
And then he fights a Slowpoke, of all things.
Of all things.
Poor guy doesn't even know he's there.
That's that oblivious.
Mm-hmm.
Getting blasted by an electric attack. This is fine.
Whoop.
Well, do you think this is Hollow's Pokemon, and you might have to fight it? Then he might quit you?
I think the rumors now are that he's the champion. I think he's the guardian of the islands, like the human guardian, and he can summon them for you. Given how late in the game, he's level 60, so given how late in the game he is, I don't know that this is something that you'll encounter in story mode. He's 60 and up are technically post-game Pokemon.
Maybe they broke that convention at last.
That'd be nice. Maybe there's a way to level up your Pokemon to 100 without grinding for 5 months.
Nope. Grind away.
Find a way to cheese Pokémiles and buy rare candy. Then, as Patrick was hinting at, they showed Zygarde 50% again, and he has a new ability too. And surprise, when he hits critical damage, he heals up and becomes Zygarde 100%. So
all the cells gather together.
So it looks like that's just the ability for all the forms in this game. So, Still don't know what 100%'s ability is.
He has a huge freaking attack, though.
Yeah. Zoro Beam. Well, it was either Zoro or some guy whose name starts with an N.
You mean N from Black and White?
Well, yeah. Booker could never solve that mystery. So it was Team Plasma, eh? I think it's a Z. Well, now I just don't know what you're talking about.
It'd be great.
He still has amnesia.
Yeah, it's like in the Omega Ruby Alpha Sapphire, that's right.
Yeah. It'll be weirder for Looker because now that there's human proportions, his costume thing doesn't work as well. And then the final thing the trailer showed, you can buy the game in a steel box. Nothing comes with it but the game. Enjoy.
In Europe. In Europe, right?
I think it was a Japanese trailer, so. I imagine this is coming out in every region. So, hey, if you want a Pokemon box that's twice as big and won't fit on your shelf as well, there you go.
You want something that doesn't quite fit right with all your other stuff?
Yeah.
You're in luck.
Well, also, after a few times of opening, it'll warp a little. It won't close. So, yeah, have fun with that, guys.
Oh, this'll fit fine on my eBay shelf. This is where I'd put my steelbook if I had one.
I hate steelbook video games. They're terrible. I don't know why I keep making them.
Because people want to collect steel, clearly.
All the Halos up until I think 4 had a steelbook release.
4 had one as well. It just was you had to buy the special edition for like $79.96 or something.
Then I think Gears of War had one. It's mostly Microsoft shooters that have them. But...
A lot of them, yeah. The Valkyria Chronicles for PlayStation 4, the release thing, has a steelbook. You're right, most of them are like. What was that other one? The one where what Commander Shepard?
Mass Effect?
Mass Effect?
Yeah, Mass Effect. I don't know. I can never think of stuff. The special edition of that had a steelbook too.
I didn't play that until 3 was coming out, so I missed that steelbook. Okay, so I think we're quite done talking about that.
Unless they announce more tomorrow.
Yeah, we might come back to more, but I doubt we're going to get too much. Maybe some abilities for some of these guys. They'll put those up on the website, though. I'm going to take a guess. They're both just going to list Swarm for Charjabug and Vikavolt. I think Cutiefly is going to have Sapsipper. That's about it. We'll get some neat little Pokedex info. So, thanks for listening. Please like and subscribe if you enjoy content, and share. We don't advertise very well, but if you like this, link on your Facebook page.
Play us at your college graduation party or any party, maybe a makeout party.
Well, not that.
Patrick, play some smooth music for us, won't you?
Tell your grandmother we agree with her political views. We don't, but she doesn't need to know that. So we will see you next episode, which will be Worst Pokemon Ever. Should be up around the same time as this. And then don't know what we're doing next week, but look forward to it.